We're gonna talk about 5 different handstand hold drills that you can do either at home or at the gym. My lovely assistant, Kailee, is here. She is very excited to be going through each of these movements to show you how they should be done. So, real quick, an overview of the 5 movements we're gonna be doing. Number 1 is a T-lever with foam. We're gonna get into donkey kicks up to a wall, box handstand leg lifts, a shoulder handstand against this 2-foot block, and then a low bar supported handstand. So we're going from beginner all the way to advanced. So when you're practicing these, you definitely want to start here. Make sure you can do movement number 1 really well and confidently, then move on to the second one. And when you can do this really well and confidently, move on to the third, so on and so forth, okay? So let's go ahead and get started on our T-levers with the foam. So Kailee gets to make her grand appearance. What she's gonna do is she's gonna hold that piece of foam overhead. She's gonna stand on her dominant leg right here. Yeah, and her bad leg's gonna come back behind her nice and tight and pointed. And now she's gonna keep a straight line from the foam all the way down to her ankle as she leans over into this T-lever position until she touches the foam to the floor. And then she comes back up. So it's gonna be a lot of balance and it's gonna be a lot of strength because she's gonna have to hold that really stiff position as she teeter-totters. So one more. This is our first exercise because it's the very beginning position of kicking up into a handstand. So there's movement number 1. Going on to donkey kicks up to a wall, okay? This is the second most beginner exercise that we're going to do. Now we're gonna use this big 4-foot block as our wall, but obviously you can use a full wall if you have the available space. But for the sake of being able to see Kailee's position, we're gonna use this guy. So donkey kicks up to a wall. She's gonna start with her good leg out forward in this big lunge. Her hands are gonna come all the way towards the floor, and then very gently she's gonna kick herself up in the air, not trying to get all the way to the wall first. She's just gonna go a little bit at a time. So a little kick up, yeah, a little bit more. And then she's just gonna start tapping her booty and her back against the wall, leaving her legs apart in that split position. So she doesn't wanna bring her feet together yet, just because again, this is a very basic beginner drill to help get the gymnast upside down and comfortable getting all of their weight over their hands. So those were great donkey kicks up to the wall. The third movement is a box handstand with single leg lifts, okay? So now we're gonna come down to a shorter box. We're gonna use our 2-footer that we have here. Kailee's gonna put her hands on the floor, then step each of her feet on top of her box. She's gonna get into this 90-degree position where her hips are directly over her hands, right? So all this body weight is sitting over her hands. That's great. Now we're gonna add some more into the equation. She's gonna lift one leg up in the air, hold it really tight, point her toe, squeeze her leg, make sure her quads engage, good. And then she's gonna set it back down. Now she's gonna lift her other leg up in the air, hold it, and set it back down. Perfect. So this is a really simple way to start introducing more body weight fully over the hands in that handstand position without forcing the gymnast to hold 100% of their body weight upside down over their hands, which can be a little bit too big of a jump between the donkey kick-ups and then trying to hold a truly vertical handstand. So we want to go slow and only hold a little bit of her body weight at a time. All right, that brings us to progression number 4, which is a shoulder to box handstand. So we're getting a little bit more advanced with the last 2. We're gonna again use our 2-foot box, okay? And this time we're actually gonna get into that fully vertical handstand position. So Kailee is very gently going to put her hands on the floor and almost press her body into a vertical position. Gymnasts can obviously do this by themselves if they feel comfortable and confident, but if you are able to give them a little bit of a spot, you can help slow down any power they may accidentally produce by just making sure you're spotting and helping them control the legs. So do a gentle kick up, very similar to that donkey kick we did up to the wall. And now you can see that her shoulders and her upper back are in contact with her box so that she gets a little bit of an assistance to help her balance in that full handstand position. She's using her fingers to grip the floor. She's pushing tall through her shoulders, squeezing her booty, keeping her legs tight, pointing her toes. So she's in a full handstand. All her body weight is over her hands, which means she's getting that strength work in, but the box is there as a little bit of an assistance to help her just balance and stay upside down for longer. So good job. Nice. Are you ready for the last one? Mm-hmm. All right, last but not least, we've got a low bar supported handstand. So this is by far the most advanced progression that a gymnast can do right now, at least out of these 5. So we're gonna come over here to the low bar. And what Kailee's going to do is she's going to start underneath her low bar. She's going to press herself into a handstand and squeeze her legs around the bar. So in this drill, it's going to be up to her to actually hold her body weight and hold herself in a handstand. The bar is going to be there, yes, but she'll be the one that has to stay tight in order to keep herself upside down. If she starts to get loose and collapse a little bit, she's gonna end up falling out of this handstand, which isn't what we want. So again, if the gymnast is new to this drill, she can always use just a little bit of a light spot to help her get into it, but it's like a standing straddle press. And now she's squeezing that bar between her legs as much as possible. Same points of performance with her fingers, they're spread, gripping the ground. She's pushing tall through her shoulders, keeping her booty squeezed, legs tight, toes pointed. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is this, Kailee?
Like a 4.
It's like a 4, okay, that's good, because Kailee's really strong and she's a really good gymnast. So I have them hold this position, you can come down, for about 90 seconds, but that is part of an optional gymnast team program. So I would start with maybe 10 to 15 seconds and work your way up. So those are 5 drills that you can use to help improve your handstand. Really awesome job to Kailee for an excellent demo. Very well done. And thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to hear how it goes.